Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And for those of you who are new here, my name's Amy. I'm a full-time reseller, primarily on the Poshmark app, but I do dabble on other sites like Facebook Marketplace and Cherish. Today I'll be doing a ship with me video. And for those of you who haven't watched my ship with me videos before, I go kind of day by day and share the different things that I sell. I talk about why I picked them up, how much I paid for them, and what my net profit is after Poshmark fees. So you'll want to be sure to watch all the way to the end because I always have unique items to give you tips on, and it's just fun to see what I sell throughout the whole week. Okay, so the first item is this pair of Polo Ralph Lauren jeans, and they are patchwork jeans. They came from the factory like that, and they have this cool kind of needlepoint polo on the back pocket. I did have these listed for quite some time because I was trying to get a high price for them because they had a high retail, I think over 300, maybe 395. So I had them listed for 159, and I sent out 10% or 20% off offers to likers with discounted shipping, and this buyer counter offered me 100. And because I had them listed for a little while and I only paid $6 for them, I decided to go ahead and accept her offer. So that made my net profit $74 after Posh fees. If you've watched my videos before, you know how excited I get to have high profits on single items. It just means that I have to work less. So that is great. I am using a plastic garment bag to wrap this item. They're the long garment bags like dry cleaners use, and I just fold them in half and cut them down the middle to reduce waste. Now I picked these up in a estate sale for $5 for like 1,000 of them, but I'm sure you can find something similar on Amazon or like a store supply warehouse. I would just type in dry cleaner garment bags, plastic garment bags. And then I also use these little thank you stickers that I got from Amazon. There's lots of app options on there, and they're not terribly expensive. I think it adds a little bit of extra flair for the buyers, and I think they appreciate, a thank you. Okay, so the next item is this semi-vintage belt. Isn't that cool? Again, if you haven't watched my videos before, I love selling belts, and actually my belt sales have been a little slow lately, but I have 2 to ship out today. So typically I list my belts for $39, and that's what I listed this one for. The buyer offered me $35. I thought that was fair, so I went ahead and accepted. I had paid $3 for this at the Goodwill, I believe. So that made my net profit $25. That's great. I look at belts like a bread and butter item. So if I don't have huge profits on them, I'm not as concerned, but I think $25 is great. I try and stay under $5 when I buy belts, but I like to be really under $3 unless it's a super unique or name brand belt. So go ahead and package that item up. And the next is the other belt. And this is a vintage tooled leather belt. And it says, let's see, genuine leather, hand finished. And then it also had a maker's mark on there that I wasn't familiar with. So I just listed this under the name brand vintage. And that's a tip if you have a vintage item that doesn't have a name brand on it, or it's a name brand that isn't listed under Poshmark's list of brands. I just use, there's an actual vintage brand on Poshmark, and people will follow that just like they would Patagonia or Gucci or whatever. So it can help your items get a little bit more exposure if you list them under that. And this I also had listed for $39 and a buyer offered me $30. Again, I look at belts like a bread and butter item, so I accepted. I had paid $3 for this, so that made my net profit $21. I'm very happy with that. Okay, so the next item is this pair of vintage cowboy boots. And normally I do a little bit better with cowboy boots. I had these listed at $49 because they had, I don't know if you can see that. Oh yeah, you can. They had a repair here, but it was nicely done. The buyer started out by offering me, I think $20 or something like that. And we went back and forth, and I finally got him to come up to $32, which was still a little less than what I hoped to get for these. But I had them listed for a few months, so I just decided that I would go ahead and accept his offer because I still made a decent profit. I had paid $5 for these at a thrift store. So after Posh fees, that made my net profit $20.60. Like I said, I do usually do a little bit better with cowboy boots, but $20 I am happy with. That's what I try and keep my profit above when I'm out thrifting. I try not to buy items that are going to be less than a $20 profit, but it doesn't always work out like that, as we all know. So we just have to be happy and move them out and try and find a big profit item with that money. Okay, so another item that I was hoping to get more for are these vintage hiking boots. And these are by Vasque, V-A-S-Q-U-E. And there was some decent comps on eBay. Maybe I should have cross-listed them, and I just didn't. But I had them listed for $59, and the buyer offered me $30. And I added them to a bundle and said, thank you for your offer. I was hoping to get a bit more for these. Could you come up to $45? And she didn't respond. So I just decided to go ahead and accept her offer. Sometimes that works. And you know, when you ask them if they'll come up, they will come up, or they'll do another offer in between their original offer. But the reason why I do that is if I'm considering accepting their first offer and I don't want to lose the opportunity to accept that. So if I just went ahead and made an actual counter offer for $45 and she didn't accept, I would lose the opportunity to accept her $30 offer. So I just went ahead and accepted it. I had paid $6 for these at a thrift store because, like I said, I looked up comps and I thought I was going to get more for them. But that still made my net profit $18, which I'm not going to complain about. And I think I'd had these listed for a few months too, so I was ready to get them moved out. Okay, and the next item is a record profit for me, but it's a record low profit. Not really the type of records that I want to be setting, but I like to share good and bad on my channel, and it is what it is. Okay, so it's this pair of AGL Ballet Flats. Now these did have some kind of damage here to the patent leather, but I didn't really think it's on both sides of both shoes. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. And I used to be able to sell these AGL Ballet Flats for like $40 or $60. And I had another pair in good condition and they took forever to sell. And I think I only ended up getting maybe $20 for those. So this buyer offered me $10 for these, which I don't like to buy items that, you know, are going to sell for 10 bucks. I had paid $5 for these because in the past I had done so well with them. So that made my net profit a whopping $2.05. Not really what I have in mind for my business model for profits, but I could have just donated them and then I would have had a $5 loss instead of a $2 profit. So, as I've said before, profit is profit, and you just have to take what you can get in some cases and move on and invest that money into other items. Okay, so I will be back tomorrow or the next day to share what else I ship out. Hopefully I have some more big profit items, and I will see you then. Thanks. Hi again, I've got a few more sales to ship out, and there's some pretty good profits, so I'm happy. Okay, the first item is this sterling silver and blue diamond ring by Affinity, and this was sold through QVC, I believe. And these have this brand has a pretty high retail. They can retail over $300. I had this listed for quite some time, and I had it listed as high as $169, I think. And a buyer liked it and asked me some questions, and I sent her an offer with discounted shipping for $143, and she accepted. I had paid $6 for this at an estate sale, so that made my net profit $106.68. That makes me very happy, of course. I was just double checking this jewelry box to make sure there was nothing else in there. I picked this up when I was at an estate sale, and as I've said in the past, if I am at a sale and there is a lot of jewelry, I will ask if there are any jewelry boxes like this that they will give me or sell to me. And a lot of times they'll just give them to me, or sometimes, they'll sell them to me for 10 cents a piece. So that's just a cheaper way to get them, and usually they're a little bit nicer than, the ones that you can buy from the store supply websites or from Amazon. So that's another little tip for recycling and getting affordable packaging supplies. Okay, so that is all wrapped up. I'm gonna kind of pat it a little bit in there. Okay, so the next item that sold, I just listed this maybe just over a week ago. And it is this Pendleton reversible coat. It reverses to faux fur. And I picked this up at the bins, and it is in like new condition or excellent pre-owned condition. I just steamed it up to, remove any germs or whatever, and I listed it for $89. I had quite a bit of interest in it, and one buyer was particularly interested in it. She started off by offering me like, excuse me, $30 or $35. And I try not to get annoyed or offended by lowball offers, because sometimes, they will end up in a sale, and a lot of people just want to get a good deal, and it's nothing personal. So we went back and forth for a while, and then I stood firm at 60, and I just kept counter offering. Sorry, I'm struggling here. I just kept counter offering that same 60 when she would offer a lower price. And I do that, so people get the point that I'm not going to come down. And typically I'll do that 3 times. I'll just counter offer my best price, and then I will, if they keep doing it, I'll add it to a bundle and make a comment and say, thank you for your interest, but my last offer is my best price. If they continue, then I just decline after that. Okay, So this sold for $60. I paid about $4 for it because I got it at the bins. So that made my net profit $44. Overall, I am happy with that. And it was a quick flip. So I'm not going to complain. Okay, the next item is kind of a little bit different for me, but is this vintage sweater vest, and it is 100% Shetland wool. I picked this up because, you know, grandma core, cottage core, all the cores are popular right now, and this was just $2. I liked that it was 100% wool. I liked that it was a sweater vest, and I thought that the design on the front was really sweet. So this was only listed for a few days, and I listed it for $45. A buyer offered me $40, which I happily accepted. Like I said, I paid $2 for this, or actually I'm not sure if I said that, but at a thrift store. So that made my net profit $30. Not going to complain about that at all for a quick flip. And this buyer will get a fun and unique piece for this winter. It's funny, I showed this to my husband when I got it, and he was like, "Why the heck did you buy that?" and was laughing at me. But, you know, that's just shows that you should stay on top of what's trendy so that you can pick up different items that some other people might miss. Okay, the next item is this pair of Reebok kind of hiking, running shoes. And these are in excellent, almost like new condition. I picked them up at a yard sale with a whole bunch of other shoes. These did take a little while to sell, maybe a couple of months. And I had them listed for, I think, $65. And they sold for $56 with discounted shipping. I had paid $6 for these, so that made my net profit $36.80. Another great profit. As I've said before, I'm happy, you know, or I aim to make more than $20 on my sales. It doesn't always work out like that. But that's always my intention when I am out thrifting and looking for stuff. Okay, the next item is this pair of Bueno brand leather kind of slip-on loafer shoes. Now this brand has a decent high retail, but I never seem to be able to get very high prices for it. I still pick it up because it's really a nice quality classic shoe, and these were just $1 at an estate sale, so I thought that was more than worth it. I started out by listing these, I think, as high as like $45, and they hadn't sold, so I reduced the price, and a buyer offered me $20. I decided to just go ahead and accept that because I had had them for a while, and like I said, I only paid $1 for them. So that made my net profit $15. And there you go. There's an example of something that I thought I could make $20 on, and it turns out that I only made $15, but that's okay. I only paid $1, so, you know, 15 times my money, you can't complain about that. Okay, I will be back tomorrow or the next day to share what else I ship out. I'll see you then. I'm back and I've got a few more things to ship out. It hasn't been a very busy week, but I've had some decent profits on items, so I'm going to focus on that. The first thing that I have shipping out today is this pair of vintage Christian Dior frames. And if you haven't watched some of my other videos, I picked up 30 pairs of vintage Christian Dior frames from the estate sale of a optometrist. And so these have clear lenses, and it just says Christian Dior on the lens, but the lenses are all scratched up, and I did indicate that in the listing. I've already sold a few pairs of them, and I paid just $5 a piece for them. when I was there at the estate sale, I had waited, I think like 2 hours in line. And then I got in there and there wasn't that much in there. And then I saw this table of glasses, and I went over and saw one that was Christian Dior and that they were only $5. So I started grabbing all of the Christian Dior ones or unique ones that I could find. And I threw them in my bag, and there ended up being 30 pairs. So before I finish, these sold for $116 for the pair. So I spent $150 on all 30 pairs. And when I got home, I was like, oh my gosh, Amy, why the heck did you do that? You don't know anything about eyeglasses. You don't know what these are worth, you know, and 150 bucks is a lot to spend on something that you don't really know much about. And so I thought that it was going to be a fail, but it is not. It's been great. So I've sold 2 pairs for, one for $95, one for like $120, and one for $50. So I think I'm already to the point that I've almost doubled my money, and I still have like 26 pairs left to sell. So sometimes it does pay off to take a chance and learn about something different. And, you know, really, I only paid $5 a piece for them, but it's just because of the volume that I was nervous. But all's well that ends well, and the rest is just pure profit. So like I said, they sold for $116 with discounted shipping. I paid $5, so that made my net profit $85.12. I am not going to complain about that. So exciting. I did do a double layer of bubble wrap on those, so they should be safe. Get those in the box. Okay, the next item is a bundle, and it's 2 pairs of kind of bohemian Southwest style earrings. The first pair are these cool kind of dream catcher with feathers and beads. I just thought these were so cool. And then the second pair are these. I loved these too. I think these are more vintage, like 1970s. The buyer actually added 3 things to a bundle, and I sent her an offer, and then she came back and said, I found another, or I already purchased one of the other items that she had in there, but I'm still interested in the 2 pairs of earrings. So I sent her about a 20% off offer, maybe slightly more. So I think I had these listed each for in like the $36 range, and I sent her an offer for $51 with discounted shipping for both pairs, and she accepted. I had paid $3 a pair for these at different estate sales, or maybe one was at a thrift store, I can't remember. But that made my cost of goods $6, and my net profit after Poshmark fees $32.12. Not a huge home run, but you know, these are easy to store, and you know, jewelry is kind of easy to source in my area. So I'm happy with that net profit. And I do like to box and ribbon my jewelry. People really seem to be happy with it when they receive it like this. So as long as it makes sense with, you know, my profits and the cost of these things, I will keep doing it. I pick up the ribbon only at thrift stores and yard sales. I don't buy it new, and I make sure that I'm getting a good deal on it so that, you know, it keeps my cost of it, you know, just at a couple of cents. Okay, and the next item is this pair of men's Ugg boots, and these are kind of a Chelsea style. They have the intentionally burnished distressed toe. They're really in excellent condition. And something I wanted to mention, can you guys see right there that black mark? So when you pick items up at the Goodwill and they have the price listed on the bottom, a lot of people spend a whole bunch of time trying to use all sorts of cleaners and whatnot to get it off. I just use a Sharpie and draw a box over it, and I make sure that it's shown in the photos. I just think it's a waste of time to try and do all that cleaning unless you're already cleaning the shoe. So that's what I do. You know, if you prefer to try and take it off completely, you know, then that's up to you. I have never had a complaint about having, you know, a black mark on the bottom of the shoes. I think most people are buying pre-owned shoes, so they expect there to be marks on the bottom. Okay, so I picked these up at the Goodwill for $10. I had them listed for, let's see, $89, maybe $79. I can't remember, but I sent out offers to likers with discounted shipping, and I sent this buyer a $71 offer with discounted shipping. Like I said, I had paid $10, so that made my net profit $44.12. I'm happy with that. These did take a little bit of time to sell. I think because they're like a size 14, so maybe that was a little bit more unique size. I'm using a box from some boots that I had ordered last winter. I try and keep any sort of big boot boxes because these were so big they wouldn't fit in one of the post office boxes, and I don't want to have to buy a box to ship out shoes. So that is it for this week. Sorry, this is kind of a shorter video. Like I said, it's been kind of a slow week. I do have one more day in the week, and if I have sales, I'll just insert them before this so you can see what else. But thanks so much for watching. I have mentioned my Posher VA before, and I should have a discount code linked in the description box below. So if you want to try it out for a week, you'll get I think you get a free couple of weeks and then 20% off your first month. But anyways, you know, I think that it's really worth it. When I started, it paid off in the first couple of days using the offers to likers and the share service. So I would highly recommend you check that out. And if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below. All those things really help me. They help boost my videos in the YouTube algorithm, and they encourage me and help my channel grow. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.